Eyes are on President-elect Donald Trump's picks for his cabinet and administration. Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley, which does a lot of work with migrants, are focusing on the needs at the border. Sandra Sanchez with Border Report sat down with the executive director to talk about the transition from the Biden to Trump administration. Sandra, thank you as always for joining us too.
Thanks for having me.
You know, you had a chance to talk to Sister Norma Pimentel about this new administration, and what did she say is her biggest concern?
Right. Sister Norma is very well known throughout the world, and she has always stressed that migrants should be treated humanely and with dignity. And keep in mind that for many asylum seekers, she is the first American experience they have. Her organization takes them in, and that's the first they are comforted and fed and helped by these volunteers and this staff at this organization. But she's fearful that if the Trump administration re-implements the Remain in Mexico, or it was formerly called Migrant Protection Protocols program, that thousands of migrants, families, vulnerable populations will be forced to wait south of the border while their immigration cases play out. This is what the Trump administration did the first time around, and they have promised to start that back again. And she worries that then they will fall prey to the drug cartel that are south of the border, and they could be kidnapped or, have crimes committed against them. And she says she's just pleading that the administration allows them to come through.
Give us some background, though, about what her organization does and if there are any concerns about cuts in funding that could affect them.
Yeah, since 2014, her organization has helped about 500,000 asylum seekers, if you can imagine. Last year alone, 107,000 people, they give them food, shelter. It's a respite center, so they can spend the night if they have to. They can take a nap. They'll hold a child while a mom takes a shower. They give them a toiletry bag. They give them new clothing, new shoes. When Customs and Border Protection arrests someone, they take their shoelaces for safety concerns. And so the people come with damaged shoes, so they always need shoes, they need undergarments. They give them travel advice and help them get on their way to an interior city. And they give them snacks for the bus ride and blankets because it's often cold on the buses. So, it's just a first stop to help them. Now, it took a number of years, but they finally started receiving tranches, millions of dollars in federal funding through FEMA's Shelter and Services program. I asked her what happens if the Trump administration does away with that program. And she said the Rio Grande Valley has always supported these people. They did it for years without additional funding, and she believes they will step up and do it again. And she said they will continue to work to help them.
Now, earlier this year, Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley became a big target of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. What can you tell us about the latest on that situation?
Right, and I have to preface it by saying that's why the interview with her yesterday was so special, because not been giving media interviews for several months because of this probe. Ken Paxton's office was probing into allegations of human trafficking, not just Catholic Charities, RGV, but 3 other facilities that help migrants, Annunciation House in El Paso, as well as Team Brownsville in Brownsville, and another one in Houston. But in all 4 cases so far, he has been unsuccessful in forcing their leaders to sit for a deposition. A judge in Hidalgo in July ruled that Paxton's office does not have the right to force Sister Norma to sit down. They have submitted dozens of pages, reams of documents explaining what the organization does, who they pay, where they get their data, help, and everything from. And the judge said that nothing more is required. Now, Paxton's office has appealed, and so far that petition has not been granted.
I know you'll be following that closely, but Sandra Sanchez again with Border Report. Thank you for joining us again.